Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again here now to the ESL One New York closed qualifiers. We're about to jump into our next matchup here now, our second semifinal. The winner of this moving on now to play against Cloud9. It's going to be CLG taking on the Rise Nation, who upset a little bit against NRG yesterday, and now they face on CLG for the opportunity to play against C9 in the grand finals and the slot in ESL One New York. Let's jump into it. The first map is going to be here on Cobblestone. CLG will be starting off on the CT side. Rise is going to be jumping over to the T side, and right at the start, I mean, pretty usual beginning to this pistol round here for Rise, sending all players into those B halls, and in a second probably going to be flushing themselves out onto the B site too, but they keep it split, they keep it a little bit slow here just to make sure that they have the right initiation about this. So in a moment, we will start to see them move back in. You'll note, though, that the bomb is still sitting right outside, so there is a potential for this to be a drop split, too. And that's exactly what this is probably going to turn into now, is Moose, along with Dazzle, some of the others pushing back in. Cutler picking up 2 shots as well with that USB, denies the split. And now VSA is going to have to try to lurk back in here, see if he can take down Ricky. Successfully is able to knock him out of the fight, but then Ethan trades that kill a second later. That's the bomb gone down as well. VSA trades it back, but Cutler, waiting on top of the bomb, hits the instant headshot on VSA. Ace will trade onto him as the volleys go back and forth and back again, but now has been brought down to just a 1v1. Ace going to go for the site and plant the bomb, but FNS already looking to go for a long flank around the corner to find him out, get the headshot angle against him, but he can't kill him immediately. So now Ace knows where he's at. He's heavily injured. Ace basically going to have to look for the instant headshots here to be able to take him out of the picture, but FNS swings, he misses it again. No shots connected against Ace as he sits in the default corner, waiting for FNS to push forward. Waiting for his opportunity to close out on him at close range, and that's what he's going to look for now. He gets it with the headshot, and with that, Rise is going to take early control of this map.
Yeah, that was a quick drop split from Rise. They started out at B, and then they fell back to A and split A through drop. Color peeked along A, didn't see anything, so he thought there was nothing A, but in the end, they ended up going A.
And with that, Rise were able to successfully take early control here now, so they're going to be starting off with that little bit of an advantage. CLG will obviously look for the upset in the second round as they force into the bye. But odds obviously are never really with this team, but we've seen it before, so we'll have to see if CLG can pull it off against Rise now, as they've gone for 2 AKs and 3 SMGs on their investment, with CLG heavily stacking towards that A bomb site here to try and hold it off. No push.
One thing to note also is Hayes is a stand-in there now, so don't have Kusta
True.
to have that double op power.
So now CLG going to be waiting for this hit to come out onto that A site, and they're right to predict it. It could be another drop split from Rise. Hayes lines up an easy headshot against Ace, though, so goodbye to him. And that's all of the pressure sitting inside the mid-connector gone down here now. The other players from Rise still sitting back at A long, not wanting to push in just yet, but VSA, there we go. The double kill from him right around the backside takes out both FNS and Ricky as they try to push back in. Ethan also looking for the kill up front, but not going to happen as Dazzle pushes him from drop room. So down to 2 now from CLG. Just Hayes and Cutler as they're sitting back over here right behind the B wall. But Hayes trying to do something with the Deagle, can't make it happen. And a similar fate for Cutler as Rise do indeed close out on the second round and get a quick 2-0 start.
Yeah, that was a clean round by Rise. They just held the default. Hayes got a nice early pick. Finesse and I think it was Ricky decided to make a push through the A door, and it just didn't pay off. Some VSA I think was waiting outside, and it's a standard default at Daika.
And it is just going to be now the full eco from CLG as they once again stack towards A. It's all 5 players over here. They take a full gamble on it. Ace is probably going to get the first taste of this this full stack in a second here. But he can handle it quite easily. He doesn't take any damage at all from the volley. And not only this, but also Ethan and Hayes both pushed out into the open here. They've been brought down pretty low. One of them's already dead, and so goes the second one too. So now just Ricky left alive here. And as expected, the quick 3-0 start from Rise as they're going to be able to push into control. And now is when the real test begins, getting into the gun round here. And now is when we get the first chance for CLG to bounce back a little bit more and pick up some rounds of their own.
Yeah, so Ricky saved to get the op. Looks like he'll be opping. I think Hayes will be rifling. I wonder if he'll be taking Kusta spot at A. I think Kusta opt A with Finesse, so we'll see where they put him, but looks like he's going drop.
And Ricky, specifically with the op in hand now, is going to be swinging around to play towards Chicken Coop. On the Rise side of things, they're still waiting with 3 Mac 10s, it should be noted, so they're actually going to be pretty weak on just weapon power in this round. So probably going to be trying to take a couple close quarters fights. They're looking like they're going for the drop split again. However,
yeah, and most of CLG doesn't have head armor as well, so...
So the Mac 10s are actually going to be able to do quite a bit of damage in this situation if they're not careful about it. Hayes sees the first players moving in towards drop. Tries to counteract it, but fails and is forced back. Ricky catches VSA going out on the platform, though, and there's the first kill where they're using those Mac 10s in the cross to try and complete this drop split. They complete the split up of the players, and now that's left alive is Cutler at the top of Suicide Steps over here. No one else has really been able to resist any of this. Cutler spotting Ace, nicely found. He goes behind coverage, but he's still able to spray him down through the wood paneling there, so takes him out. He at least evens it back into a 3v3, and now with the additional damage done to Dazzle and Jonji, in theory, this should be a very winnable retake as long as they can get them out into the open and take these duels. But that's going to be the big key issue here. As Jonji's sitting in the corner, they're going to try to play cheeky positions in order to get free kills. And there we go. There's the one trade Jonji needed. He completes that one. Moose is definitely the linchpin here, but Dazzle, if he can get one, it makes Moose's job that much easier. As he's going to be sitting below Heaven, waiting for Raps to come from the other side. He won't find anyone here, though, actually. So CLG are going to be able to push forward for free. And in a moment, Moose is going to be left alone. Dazzle caught looking the wrong way. Moose with a good trade. Can he get a second kill? He does. And the clutch from Moose keeps Rise in control with a 4-0 start. Still no rounds for CLG on the board.
Yeah, well played by Moose now. 2v1 or 1v2. Rise looks like they're doing what they did on Pistol in the first gun round. They just put no presence A, kind of put a little bit of B pressure, and then split through A, or through drop to A, and end A.
Well, now we're going to see Rise keeping that split alive since the drop split seems to be working out quite well for them. They've also were able to upgrade all their guns now as a result of the course of that last round's event, so it works out to cycle that. They don't have to spend really any extra money that they would have had to spend on gun upgrades in the last round. That actually probably would have messed them up a bit if they tried to do that due to how many players died, but they choose to stick with the Mac 10s. It's a pretty big risk, but it pays off, and now Moose looking for Hayes. Hayes didn't see Moose, I think, on that first jump up, but now he realizes what's happening. A little bit slow to react to that when Hayes pushes forward, and now just has Jonji pushing for him. Oh, they got so close to taking him down. He survives it for now, but ultimately, again, with the pistols in hand, it's going to be very rough for CLG to hold on here. I'm very surprised Hayes gets that kill, though, from way in the back. Manages the one-tap Moose at huge range. And now Rise going to continue to push in here, trying to minimize the losses, but it's already even down to a 3v3, and the other two players at the very least have armor to play off of there, along with Ricky sitting in the back with an unarmored AK. So FNS is going to push forward. He catches Ace without his gun out immediately, so he has the chance to kill him there. But Ace pushes him back, and now Ace lines up a double for himself, catching both Ricky and Cutler. FNS tries to sneak around, but it doesn't work out. VSA gets the final kill, and Rise again shooting ahead now, 5-0, but taking some heavy losses in that last round.
Yeah, that could have potentially been bad for Rise. Dazzle goes down at drop, gives Ricky a free AK, and Cutler was on the quick flank, so he got a lot of info by pushing through A, but Ace comes out on top, and they close out the round, 5-0 for Rise.
Back into a full gun run, and this time we have full utility sitting behind CLG 2. That was something that they were missing in the first gun round here, and now Rise pushing back out. They waste no time going for their own execution here. Moose and Dazzle both picking up kills. They lose Jonji on the way in due to finesse. However, still a 4v3, and with Moose having this aggressive position, there's really not a great route for CLG to get back into the site except maybe going through drop. You can see Ricky working on the flank over here from the backside. However, ultimately, it's not looking like that CLG are even really going to attempt this. Cutler is falling back to save the rifle now. They know they really don't have great options to get back into that site as I was just explaining. So they're going to back out of here, retreat from the fight, and let Rise just pick up another one while saving 3 guns in the process.
Yeah, it's a good decision to save here. That's what I notice with a lot of teams. They don't choose to save. Like, if it's not doable, just save. It's 3v4. Next round, you're on the max loss bonus, and they can all drop guns for their teammates and get a solid buy.
And there's Ricky picking off one more player from Rise, evening it back down into another 3v3, so dropping at least one more for Rise. Despite the losses, though, Rise has actually maintained a pretty strong economy, mainly due to those Mac 10s that they used in the gun round, only having to rebuy regular rifles. I mean, 3 or 4 players are well over 6 or 7k at this point, So they have a huge excess of cash, even with Dazzle and Ace having to rebuy again into this round here. Even they're sitting on 4,000 and 3,000, which is going to be enough just with one single round losing bonus to be able to rebuy themselves. So Rise is in a really strong position right now, and that's troublesome for CLG, as this is often a strong map for them. But at the moment, they seem to be faltering quite heavily on the CT side. Just can't get anything going. It's close rounds, but able to win any of the clutches, and oftentimes in the 3v3s when it comes down to those closer situations, they always lose those too.
Looking like a fast A here.
As Rise are finally changing up the game plan a little bit. They've been fond of just going for that split. This time, though, they're going to go a bit more directly, and it works out okay on the start because there is actually no one on the site itself. Ricky's back here, though, but they're just going into him one by one. He almost gets that third one on the Junji, too. As Ricky just sits in the back, and Junji just peeks him. No flash or anything like that. Finally, a trade from Ace, but the damage is now done. The bomb on the ground, and with Cutler killing Moose, it leaves only Ace alive for this T side, having to pull off what would be an ace for Ace in order to clutch this for Rise and keep CLG with 0 rounds on the board. Thankfully, he still has plenty of time. He's not necessarily in a rush to get the plan or anything, but he's going to play it super quiet. There's like Ethan slowly starting to sneak up behind him. Cutler also trying to get the flank inside. They've cornered him. They've got him stuck at the exit A long, and he won't pick up any of those additional 4 kills. Ethan gets the last frag, and CLG finally get a place on the board.
Yeah, I think Rise had a good execution. Once they got up the mid, I think their paddling was a little off. I don't know if someone missed a flash, but Ricky should be getting flash and get traded right away. But yeah, that was a clean round for CLG.
And now, off of the victory there, CLG are immediately going to upgrade themselves. Ricky and Ethan double stacking those ops there. Ethan going to play towards A originally, but he's pretty quickly wrapping in towards B after there's some quick smokes deployed by Rise. Definitely not going to see an execution any time from them, though. They still have 2 guys outside in courtyard.
Yeah, and they're forcing a lot of nades out of CLG. Like, look at the nade usage. First 30 seconds.
I think CLG got a little bit scared that they might have tried to rush into B after what happened in the last round there. So now,
yeah, Rise is setting it up really well.
So now they've got a good initiation right here too. Rise did have to use, I only used 2 of their smokes originally here now, and now they're going to molly out towards drop. They move in. I think they know Hayes is sitting in that corner. He's already played to this in 2 or 3 other rounds, so it's becoming a pattern for him. So they'll be keeping an eye on that, and it's Dazzle specifically watching for it. The rest of the team is moving from that courtyard position over here into the halls very, very slowly. And as far as the CT setup is concerned, there's still a solid 3 stacked towards B. However, Hayes is starting to pull away from his position at the windowsill and further towards the A-bomb site. So that's only going to leave both Finesse and Ricky to defend towards the site itself, and FNS is probably going to get first contact here, as the players on the broken wall ramp are going to take some time to actually push back out here. They already have control of drop. They're ready to initiate here. But I take back my words, actually. It looks like the players over here...
Like a B split, yeah.
On plat are probably going to end up going out first. And while Finesse gets impatient, he's tired of waiting for the hit, so he makes the hit start itself. Pushes up, takes down Junji right at the start. Ricky missing his first shot back, and Moose through the chicken coop takes him down. Finesse getting his second kill, but Moose not long before he picks up both Finesse and Hayes, who rotated quickly back in to support his team after falling back to the A side a few seconds ago. Now it's just Ethan and Cutler left alive. They're behind the wall. There's not a whole lot of ways for them to get back in. They do have a decent amount of utility still sitting on Ethan, but with Cutler falling that quickly, Ethan's going to be able to trade on a VSA. It does look like Ethan still wants to go for this, actually, instead of just outright falling back for the save, but not finding anyone in the drop room does seal the deal as far as the save is concerned. He'll run away, and Rise will take back control, going up 7-1.
Yeah, I think CLG's setup made them feel uncomfortable. They had Ethan and Cutler at the wood wall, but they're playing super passive, and it looked like Hayes rotated more towards connector to cater to A, which made B weak. That play that Finesse made was kind of risky, but it paid off, and then Ricky just couldn't connect the shots from Coop.
And with Ricky going down, that pretty much caused a chain reaction, mainly off of the hands of Moose there. Getting that nice multi-frag from up on top of the platform, just dominating. And with that...
But since CLG won that round pretty cleanly, they can buy here, especially with that saved gun.
Hayes is probably going to be sacrificing a little bit, but actually he makes the economical choice, I'm going to say, and that goes for the Mag 7 instead, since he's been playing in towards drop. Very comfortable weapon that you can use inside of that room due to how close quarters it is, and because of that, he gets the molly, which is going to be able to deny the early drop pressure with. They're actually going to go right past it, but he misses the initial shot on the Mag 7. Dazzle's going to take him down, and within the first 10 seconds of the round, Dazzle has already maintained drop control for Rise, stealing that out of the hands of these CTs here. Ricky connecting his first shot this time, able to take down Moose when he attempts to lurk and knock out the Opper quickly here. Now Rise taking a bit of a heat themselves. They're going to have to fight back, and Dazzle now getting taken down by Cutler outside of drop 2. So Hayes has dropped Cutler on the rotate. Was able to counter out the player that took him down, though, and Rise down to 3 with all of them pushing out onto platform here. Ricky ready for the fight. He's going to be flashed out originally, but a smoke in front of him, and the shot through it to take down Jonji. They try to respond. They've got him low at 1 HP. It's VSA to get that trade, but Ethan's ready, close up here on the platform. And not only that, but FNS working his way out on a flank. Oh, FNS actually whiffing a little bit there, trying to take down VSA, but a slow series of peeks is enough to complete the kill. And CLG now pick up their own second round. Still not at the safe point here yet, though, as Rise still have a little bit of cash to buy into this round with.
Yeah, Dazzle started off the round by catching Hayes off guard. The reason why he beat Hayes' molly is because I think Hayes bounces molly off the wall, and if you don't bounce it off the roof, they can run past it if they have the best spawn. So that was a little mistake by Hayes, but either way, they close up the round.
And so, now for Rise. We're going to see actually a counter boost from CLG this time. It's not going all the way, but Hayes is up on top.
Yeah, that's a one-way as well.
Flashbang from Dazzle actually blinded himself, but he went behind coverage quickly enough, and oh, Dazzle knew it was happening, was able to catch Hayes there, so pops out, one-taps him basically, taking down Hayes, and now leaves CLG with 4 again at the start of the round.
I feel like you have to set up that smoke. You gotta keep smoking it over and over, make them guess, and then do the boost. But if you just smoke it the one time and do the boost the one time, it's gonna be obvious.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see that he read into it pretty quickly right there. He even tried to counter flash it too. That was where he messed up originally and had to peek back, but then was able to re-peek and just instantly kind of wreck him. There was a trade back, though, from Ethan, of course, back over here at the platform. CLG in these last couple rounds have gotten much better control over the platform. Drop is still obviously the issue for them, but without platform control, you can't really get a lot going with just drop room, unfortunately. So Rise still have to struggle to get back that control, or try to do that A split again if they want to look towards that. Ricky and Cutler holding suicide steps, so that's what they'd have to deal with. I don't think Rise are really going to be considering that, though. They still have a pretty confident stack. They're just waiting for these mollies and other nades to fade back out so they can start to push back in. And Finesse, he's there again to defend drop room. This is what I was talking about before. Without that platform control, it's very easy to defend the exits of drop room. Ethan getting one more kill. Dazzle actually whiffing a bit there. Doesn't get the full kill, so takes a lot of extra damage. He does pick up the frag, however, and so does Dazzle, or excuse me, so does Ace. So with those kills, that's enough to get them out onto the B site. But Ricky and Cutler rotating back in, including Cutler on a flank, is going to make this a difficult one for the Rise guys to clutch back on, especially considering the time they have to plant. Cutler can just go right in here, deny the plant, and win the round on time, which is exactly what he's going to do. They're going to try to kill Dazzle post-timer. They had him on the wrong side, though. And oh, they did take him down at the last tick or two there. They managed to knock him out. So Dazzle dies post-timer. And you can see there, he's going to have $500 or $600 less than Jonesy or Ace, which means going into that next gunner, and he's probably going to have to sacrifice utility a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to have to save here. They'll be able to buy next round, though, because there'll be a 3 loss bonus. They're probably just going to try to get the bomb down, smoke connector, and explode on A.
And so now for Rise, well, they're going to try to push back into the mid-connector, but Cutler was there at the door spotting for that one. So he's already caught it, dinked at long range, though, down to 34. And now, after picking up a kill, he'll fall back. A new player will take up a position at the door. It's Finesse, but he doesn't stay for long. Ricky actually wrapping back around, and FNS trying to hold on to his own position, gets knocked out by VSA. Hayes just blind firing through that smoke there, as VSA continues to cause trouble with just a measly little P250, and now he's upgraded it to an AK. There's only 1 bullet in the magazine, though, so he's still in the pistol there. Tries to swing out for another quick headshot against Hayes, but it won't happen. And CLG continue to close out. However, taking heavy losses, so their economy is not really going to grow anytime soon.
Yeah, Rise didn't get the plant there. He almost had it, but he chose to go for the kill. So.
Which I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have actually gotten the plant there either. I don't think he had enough time. So.
Yeah, he was juggling his gun and his bomb, so he just wasted a lot of time there. But CLG with a 3 straight.
And so now, with that streak going strong here, Rise have to look into new strategies to try and counter that back out. In fact, they may be going back to an old play here in the book, as we can see them playing into that default again. So they may try to swing over and do that split that we had seen a couple times in the past. Mollies as well to counter out more aggression onto the platform. It's going to go on to Moose, and Moose has to jump up a little bit higher there. It just spread to him at the last second, but it still did a pretty decent amount of damage. About 55 overall being done to him there, and another 2 or 3 being done by the nade. Tries to drop down and kill the Opper. The Opper actually misses his shot too. So they will respect each other. Back up behind coverage. But Ricky's going to stay up behind the box. and be ready to continue this fight should Rise peek out and attempt to take quick control over the B bomb site. The other two are still outside there, ready to go into mid connector if they want to try to push for the A site. But it looks like they are falling back to regroup with the main play now, so it's probably going to be another straightforward B hit coming out from the Rise Nation roster. Ricky peeking in again. He wants that kill against Moose so badly. He's got him on the ropes. He knows exactly where he is. Rise, in the meantime, is trying to move back in to take control of drop, but Hayes is doing a great job of delaying it for as long as he can with Molly control. Moose and the others also now starting to move back out. Moose knocking out one, but Hayes and the others hold strong instead of drop. In fact, they burn out an additional player. It's mainly on Ethan to hold the actual site here as smoke starts to roll, and he's going to pop off one of his own to give him a bit more room to maneuver. He missed Ace inside of that smoke, but Hayes pushing on the sidewalk has cornered Ace. He's now stuck in the corner, but Dazzle bails him out at the last second, and now Ace has to frag here. He picks up one, Dazzle finds another. It's down to Cutler for the side of CLG in a 1v1, 26 versus 28 HP, as Ace is on the other side of this one, but he only has 9 seconds left to plant the bomb or kill his opponent, and now he's going to swing out, look for him, but Cutler's ready for it, and CLG will win the round again. A 4-round streak for them now.
Yeah, 4 straight for CLG. And I've noticed that with Rise, even in the past matches, they'll go up 7-1 or 6-1, and it's just hard, like when everything's going your way, it's hard to know what to do next. And on the CLG side, like the economy builds up and eventually they just make the adjustments needed. Ricky was up and on plat that round, which is really good.
And with that, it looks like we are going to be having ourselves a pretty close half after all, instead of Rise domination here. Now that CLG has been able to adjust and properly set themselves up to shut down Rise here. For the most part, Rise, again, going to be heading in towards B. A little bit quicker fashion, though, since it is just on a half-buy for them. They drop in. Hayes already ripping 2 of them out. Ace trading up for 1 kill there as he takes down Hayes, but the losses are not equitable due to losing both Dazzle and Junji. Now they're stuck in drop. This is the ultimate problem if they've been dealing with, even on gun rounds here too, is that they can easily get drop control a lot of the time, but they never are able to really push this out onto the site in these last 4 rounds or so. That's where they've been facing a lot of issues. So they're going to try to mind game this a little bit with that drop control by having Moose sneak over here, and in a moment the bomb carrier is going to join him on the A-bomb site. Only one defending it right now. It'll be Cutler over here for the CT side, looking to try and take down Moose. He's already spotted his head. A little bit scared, though. He backed up. Now flashbangs coming in. More teammates rotating in. Cutler goes down to Moose, though, on just the CZ. So they're going to be able to rush up to the site, at the very least attempt to go for a plant. Moose will look to hold the line here. 3v2 as well, but everyone from that CT side, nobody looked to a flank or anything, so it's actually a very one-dimensional retake that, in theory, Rise would be able to counter here. Moose is playing up close, goes for the CZ kill. Unfortunately, has a lot of misses there on the very short 12-bullet mag, and does end up going down. Now leaving VSA alone, and he won't even get a single kill either. They got close to taking down FNS, but couldn't complete it. And now CLG gets a 6th.
And with that plant, I'm surprised I got that plant, but with that plant, Ace should be able to buy an op here. They should all be able to buy ops, so they might double up maybe.
They've got plenty of cash to play off of here for what could be their last big gun round. Actually, it should be a decent buy in the next round too, because they're on full losing bonus, and assuming they get a plant, should put them up back.
Seemed like they slowed down a bit as well. Like first they were just like doing fast strats, slow strats, and now they just seem like they slowed down a bit.
I think losing a lot of that confidence that they had going at the beginning too, because they were kind of dominating at the start. Now they don't really have that going in their favor anymore. So trying to play a little bit more carefully, since CLG probably has some of that going for them. But Ethan now sitting back over here on Broken Wall again. He's going to be trying to go for an aggressive counter to any platform control that they would go for originally. None of that happening. But with the mollies fading away in a second, it looks like FNS is going to be joining Ethan. So they may try to push in there early and get an aggressive play against these guys. Meanwhile, over here at A-Long, there is definitely an aggressive push from the CTs. Both Cutler, along with Ricky, have pushed up here into the entrance to A-Long. Ricky sees the smoke behind him. He's not going to fall back, though. He's going to stick with his teammate. They're going to try to fight this here now. Cutler takes first contact. He gets traded out, but Ricky picks up the second one. Makes it a 2-for-1 trade. I'm not sure if he realizes the offer is there, but he's going to fall back. And it's a good thing that he did, too, as Moose was just about to lurk up through suicide steps. And that could have caught him off guard and made it an even trade. But for right now, CLG maintains the advantage, and they keep it to a 4v3 with another additional player rotating over here to assist Ricky. Now that he's gotten that kill and has fallen back to the site, Finesse is also going to be grouping up with him while they keep Hazed and Ethan back over on the other bomb site. Just going to be, at the moment, Moose and Ace pushing it alone. Dazzle still falling back from the B halls. But as they push in, they meet their first kill right and early as they take down Ricky. Now what's left alive in this site is Finesse. He holds for his first kill, knows there's a second one on the site somewhere, goes for coverage behind the APC, but fails to realize Dazzle's pushing up the ramp. He'll get outwitted there, gets taken down, and it's another even fight for the retake, a 2v2. Hayes will fall back safely behind the door, trying to spray past it. That gives him away. But Ethan also working on a lurk right now. Going around the map, right up here on the Dazzle. Dazzle's not expecting it at all. It's a free kill against him. The deep nade on Ace hits him for only like one damage, unfortunately. And Ace makes a run, thinks he can escape into the alleyway, but he's being sprayed down so heavily, misses the flick. And that will seal the deal for CLG to now tie up this game at 7-all.
Yeah, good patience by CLG in that 2v2. Hayes was just making a distraction, making it seem like they're going for it. And Ethan just comes with the flank. I think that's the second flank now that CLG has got away with.
And the slow plays from CLG continuing to show good results. Like I said in the last round, though, Rise still able to get themselves a good buy into this last round due to the plant, but just not having enough to complete any more of these rounds. So it's been a 6-round streak, a similar 6-round streak. It's basically just been a flipped scoreline here. Rise started off with the advantage, winning 6 rounds straight. They traded 1 each, and then ever since then, it's been all CLG. And now it comes down to this penultimate round to see who is going to be able to get control over the first half. Rise definitely needs it, with how they quickly faltered here. Is now going on to the CT side. I fear things may continue to go against their direction if they're not careful, and that could lead to a quick victory for CLG. As Rise start to push in, the smokes get deployed deep here for CLG as they're trying to deny any control they can over here towards A. That was the site they struggled with the most earlier on in the half, but some great adjustments like you're seeing come in now over here at A long have allowed for Rise to continue to struggle and for CLG to hold decent control over the A bomb site. And for the most part, for Rise to completely abandon most of their A attempts. They've only been trying it really on like 2 to 3 rounds, when previously when they were winning, they were consistently going for it. Along with B hits there, it was a pretty even split when normally teams are just going straight for B plays. Rise really doesn't have either site that they can play towards, as their B hits for the most part have been somewhat hit or miss too. And there's a great example of that right there. Moose, who had one great round pushing back in, he got a triple kill from up on top of that platform a couple rounds back. But ever since then, he's constantly just getting knocked out the instant he peeks out. And most of Rise has already fallen here now. So in a 2v5, John G is going to try to sneak into this bomb site. But as his teammate joins him, Cutler is waiting behind the wall. He is going to be able to hear that bomb carrier going up the suicide steps. So they're going to call for the full rotation. They know Ace is here. Ricky's already taken down John G, so it is just Ace alive. He's gotten 1 kill, but there's 4 more needed just to win out this round. Almost saves his life against Cutler there, but not going to happen. So it's CLG that gets the advantage coming off of the first half.
Yeah, Ricky getting those early picks in that last round, and CLG just turns the momentum in their favor.
And Rise completely dropping off the map there too. All of the big players, VSA and Moose, who started off this map with incredibly strong performances, just gone by the halfway point of the half. And unfortunately, we never really see it reappear. Excuse me.
Yeah, they started 7 up. They started up 7-1, and then they finished the half 8-7, I think.
Yep. So at one point, had a 6-round lead, and well, now they're at a 1-round deficit at the end of that first half. So probably taking a moment here just to strategize and figure out how exactly they want to play this second half on CT side. They really need that pistol to try and reestablish dominance again. I mean, if they can get the snowball rolling in their favor, there's no reason why CLG wouldn't just outright, lose it as well. We already saw CLG kind of crumbling to them at the beginning. Even after the first gun round, there was a sequence of 2 or 3 more rounds where Rise still had decent control over the series, but now it's flipped and it's all CLG, so Rise need to reset themselves and make sure they're ready going into the second half, as otherwise it could be a quick victory for CLG to push it on to our second map. I believe, let me see actually, whose map pick this was.
Yeah, look, it's Rise's.
It's Rise's? Okay.
Yeah.
It works out okay for CLG though, because this has been a pretty decent map for them too, especially in domestic games.
Yeah, I think Rise likes this map, and also they got trained. CLG got trained for the next map. No surprise there.
Another train pick though. We're seeing a lot of train today, or this weekend.
Yeah, and then Deciders Inferno. So I think all those maps are good for both teams. We did see Rise play Inferno, right? I think yesterday.
Yeah, they played it yesterday.
Yeah.
That was the 3rd map it went to against Energy.
We haven't got to see them play Cbble yet till today.
Well, once again, guys, we are just waiting for them to ready up. We should note, too, this is not the only match we still have today. We still have the Grand Finals as well. The winner of this one is going to move on to play against Cloud9 in the Grand Finals. That's currently scheduled for 9 p.m. Eastern Time / 6 p.m. Pacific. However, depending on how long this match takes, and one of them may start earlier or later than that. And I'm imagining whoever wins this game is probably going to want like a 20 to 30 minute break too before they start that one. So probably going to be seeing that match start, like I said, about 20 or 30 minutes after this match concludes, is what I would say, what I would estimate. But it's online, so it's very hard to estimate times, unfortunately. But getting into it now, we are in the second half, so let's take a look and see if it's going to be CLG continuing to push ahead after their 7-round streak at the end of the last half, or if Rise Nation are now going to be able to bounce back and take back the control that they had at the beginning of this half, but lost later on. VSA, well, he starts it off with a bit of a push out through A long. Unfortunately, it doesn't last very long. He goes out, gets tagged at super long range by a member of CLG, and is brought down to 9 HP, so he was dinked, and he now has to fall back over here towards the site. I'll be waiting with at least one other teammate, though, as Ace is also here watching for a push from down below over there at the mid-connector. CLG have split their own players up, 3 at A-long and suicide steps, and 2 working their way into the B hall. As the smoke does get deployed, they are going to try to throw this over towards the A site. In fact, they may throw a couple of players in there. However, with that smoke, I'm curious if they're going to do what I think they're doing right now.
Connector split to B.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing too. We'll see if they actually try to do that. Ethan's trying to push up, but he does spot a player at cannons, so they fall back. They're not going to be able to do that whole split. I have seen that before from CLG, though, where so the plan here, for those that don't understand what was supposed to happen there, was they were supposed to go up the ramp and then quickly go through the doors and down to B. So it's basically the reverse of the drop split. That goes into the B site instead. And it sometimes just catches players off guard because they'll be sitting with their back turned here in the connector and stuff like that. But now CLG are pushing in, and they, for whatever reason, Rise haven't fully committed these other players into the site yet. So they only really have 2 guys in the site. Jonji's doing well enough on his own, though, and he's able to buy enough time for the others to get inside. Finesse is going to try to wrap back around the other side of the Rise players here, taking down one, bringing it to a 2v3, dinking another. Cutler's going to try to move in and finish off the kill there. He gets it, but Ace trades it back. So now it's all on Finesse. He's got 20 seconds to try and clutch it, but not going to happen. Rise will win out the round and tie it at 8-8.
Yeah, it looked like Hayes was trying to cross the site there. They just didn't have anything like blocked off. No smoke for connector. The smoke was for connector at A to sell the fake. And they just got caught in a crossfire.
And so now with the tie happening and Rise having the capability to go back into control, CLG is very much so going to be looking for an upset in this second round. They force into it pretty much as heavily as they can, including Ricky, who was picking up the op on the last half there. So definitely not going to be seeing an op in the first gun round with those types of buys there. No one is going to be even close to it unless, of course, they get upset in this round. And it's very possible.
And Rise has 4 umps as well and an MP9, so no rifles on their side.
Choosing to try and farm out against CLG here. Now CLG specifically picking their push to go over here towards the A bomb site. No one really splitting off from that. It's just VSA and Dazzle at the moment here to defend it. But they do have Junji inside of the connector, and he's a pretty quick rotate away to go over to the other side if needed. The others from CLG all stacked up now and are ready to push in. Just need to get them formed up so they can toss in what little utility they do have and then start the hit. And there we go. Now they're going to push back in. Ethan just getting a kill out of absolutely nowhere, moving into the site, deleting VSA. He takes him down, swinging F&S with a quick headshot on Dazzle, too. That's the old Tech-9 showing up right there. Now Junji trying to hold inside. Nicely done from him. Picks up one. As he spot the second player, there was the real question here. Regardless, Ace is going to get a nice lineup of players. They're tearing through the defenses the CLG have set up in this post plan, and they don't even check towards Broken Wall. So Junji walks up, gets a free one against Hayes. It's down to a 2v2, an even fight. Ricky, good timing on that spam there through the wall. Just not able to actually deploy it. And now trying to kill the diffuser, gets it through the wall. And only one remains here now for Rise. It's going to be on Junji. He gets the kill on Ricky, but now he's low on time to actually get this defuse. The smoke's going to go away as well. Just goes for it at first, but it's only to tap and try to get his opponent into the open. Cutler wrapping around him will knock him out. And it's CLG with the upset round and take back control of the lead.
Yeah, Rise had early plat pressure, so they know no one's going towards B. Junji rotates over, helps out at A. And Ricky with that spam. That was impressive.
He knew exactly where that bomb was planted, and I'd basically...
What if that was planned, or what?
I mean, I'm looking at it now as it's happening live on the stream, and it's something like pixel-perfect spam through the wall. He knew exactly where he was, or exactly where the bomb was planted.
It's crazy. But Rise buying back, and boosting drop already.
Trying to boost over. They get close to sneaking off a kill there. However, Cutler holds on, survives it with 8 HP, so no upsets on that circumstance. Rise are getting very aggressive here now, too, as they've obviously also force bought into this one. They're still going to look to try and hold control after winning the pistol, but losing the second round. And after pushing early over there towards Plat, not finding a lot of success, they did try to stack and drop, but CLG are now being quiet after facing against that counter boost pressure. They know for sure that Rise is going to try some tricky stuff here, and they want to make sure they don't get tripped up by it, especially after Cutler just got dinked. or 90 of his health right there. They want to be very, very careful about how they proceed to not to make any mistakes that could snowball this round into their control. Still 2 umps on Rise Nation, so that's a little bit dangerous. I mean, even the 5-7 still, with the changes that were made to it, which I think went live the other day, are still making this gun a very capable weapon to upset at rounds with. And as far as Moose is concerned, CZ is also something you don't want to be trifling with. Well, Jonji's going to be able to hear all the footsteps working their way out towards Plat, so they should call for the rotate over the next couple of seconds. Jonji, though, he just gets clotheslined by Ethan as they move into the site, and gets a second one, too. Goodbye to Jonji and Ace. And for VSA and Moose, well, for Moose, he's pretty disconnected from all this action. VSA may be able to sneak in 1 or 2 kills on exit, but this round is definitely going to be CLG's.
Yeah, good usage of firepower by CLG, just grouping up, using their AKs, and trading out the kills at B. Moose looking at some cheeky kills here.
He's going to be hiding behind the steps, actually, over here. So we'll see if anyone from CLG tries to exit in that direction. Overall, CLG are going to be able to push ahead now into double digits. And for Rise, after forcing up into that round, they will be looking at a complete save coming up in these next few seconds here. CLG are being very, very careful about the way that they're exiting here. They know Moose is lurking around somewhere. They just have to try and figure out where he's at. Doesn't look like he's going to meet much of a contest, though, so he's going to save that CZ armor buy for the next round, where the rest of his team is going to be full saving, looking, obviously, going to the 5th round, where they're going to have their own first gun round now.
Yeah, with that force by Rise, CLG should know that they have next to no weapons this round, so I'm sure they'll just send in a MAC-10 somewhere to stack the money on Ricky, so they can save it for that op.
CLG would just a straight push towards A long, I think, here too. So VSA is going to have a chance to frag out from behind the hay barrels. It will get checked. And there's a... Wow, look at this. This is very organized from Rise. This is like a perfect stack of players. VSA gets destroyed, though. And this very pretty lineup of players is going to have to deteriorate in a second, unfortunately, as Moose will have to move back to watch for a long pressure. They actually do push the other 3 inside of mid, though, and they're able to get at least 1 kill with it. A sneaks over 1 more, but at the end of the day, it does just become Moose again with the CZ. But 2 kills, not bad, considering that they literally invest basically nothing into this round, except for maybe a couple P250s. And for Moose, sneak off 1 more. There you go. There's an AK on the ground for him. This is... Don't... There you go. That took him a second. There was apparently a MAC-10 in the mix there, too. Trying to go for 1 more kill, and he gets it. So now this gets brought down to a 1v1. Tim versus Cutler. And he didn't even take a lot of damage from that first fight that he took. Only about 20 getting reduced off of him. Cutler has a lot of utility to hold him back off, but it's just going to become an open fight. Cutler holds on, though. Wins it for CLG. And they push into another round.
Yeah, that was well done by Rise, making it costly. Like 4 USPs just fighting Finesse, putting all that pressure on him, caused chaos, and I don't know, Hayes kind of didn't need to make that play, but either way, Cutler wins the round, and let's see what Rise can do here.
I've got the guns now to try and hold off CLG, but similarly to some of our previous matchups here, despite the close scoreline, they aren't able to impact on this gun round or the next, and they're going to find themselves in a desperate position very, very quickly. Rise, the usual stack, a 3-2 split. Having the second player over here towards A may be a little bit risky to do this early, but CLG have been fans of pushing into the A bomb site, so it's a warranted concern. It makes sense to have that second player over there helping out earlier on. As they get ready, though, for the push, again, the main point to defend this is going to be on Moose and Ace, who had pretty decent starts in the last half, but remember, pretty much everyone on that Rise roster faltered off pretty badly once we got into the second quarter of the map. We didn't really see them show up again, so now's their chance to get back into the fight. Now, CLG is for sure going to be crunching onto this B site as they go for just the standard split.
Looks like maybe Rock Smokes? I don't know what Ricky's lining up.
Yeah, and they deploy smokes into the site now. They're going to start the push outside. Trying to go up against players like Ace.
Oh no, they put 2 Rock Smokes in the same spot.
Did they really? Oof. So that potential miscommunication is now going to cost them as they don't have the site completely covered anymore. And CLG moving in. Cutler is also going to be trying to push his way out from drop, but he's still smoked out. Moose starting it off, trying to hold, but he goes down to Ethan. Junji's there. He gets the trade. You can see those rotates, quickly moving back in. Ricky with a quick shot against Junji too, prevents him from doing any further damage. And now more rotating into the site. Dazzle's here. Ace picking up 1 kill, 2, and a second for him back on that platform over there. Brings it down to a 1v2, however, after Hayes finds out of their kill, but there's only 5 seconds left. Thankfully, Hayes pushes up, kills Ace before the time expires, and off of that, CLG will win out their 12th round.
Yeah, that was patient play by Ace there. He almost won the round for them. Just stayed in that cubby, they knew they didn't check it, and just waited, got 2 kills, but just wasn't enough.
Rise again, now will just have to go through the cycle. Going to be on their half buy here. CZ's with a 157 for VSA. And then P250s. That's all we're going to be seeing from Rise, so pretty lackluster buy overall. And CLG will continue they're just going to continue with what's been working for them. A push out onto the B bomb site. And in a second, they're going to see that it's a wide open book due to Rise gambling at this time on the 5-man stack, which did not pay off. And for CLG, it's going to be a walk-in.
Yeah, I think if CLG plants A here, they'll probably just save into the next round. I've seen them do that in past matches.
And Rise, best hope for them, besides the save, would now be just to get exits. There's 0 chance of a retake happening here. So they're all going to have to pretty much just take this one as a loss and look to save those pistols going into the next round. If quite a few of them have armor too, so as long as they don't take any extra damage on the armor there, then it's going to be nice to save that $600 going into the next round here. Ricky just making quick work of 2 of them though, as both Junji and Ace try to pick up kills on exit, failing to find either of the players that are currently sitting in the B halls, and a third one sitting further back too. CLG's in pretty good control, and as long as they can get everybody into the B halls here, they'll all be safe to go into the 7th round with a full 5-man alive roster. Rise going to the long flank, but that's been spotted by Hayes too, so he's going to take him down. And that's pretty much it. VSA and Dazzle were here on A watching for exits. They're not going to catch anyone. Everyone on CLG will stay alive.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see the counter 7-1 lead on the G side. CLG go up 7-1. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, the real question here is if Rise just bounces back and dominates that point forward, and then we go to OT.
Yeah, they got a full nade set here, so... Oh, and the double up. Dazzle picks up an up.
We have to
so he's going for the A-hall pick.
Yeah, he'll be sending himself over there. And it's not just that direction, too. Ace still plays on that site. He's going to play very close up from the looks of it. Oh, he's going to try to go for the quick peek himself. Smoke's in the way, though, by the tees. That'll smoke the cross at Broken. So he's going to have to cancel that and fall back a little bit further. CLG, though, besides that, haven't really actually taken any aggressive moves, though. They haven't really attempted to push out towards Broken. Ethan's still sitting safely behind the arch over here. And the rest of the team is looking to like set up smokes and mollies into drop so they can get control of that first before they fully commit. Hayes getting denied with that smoke, so he can't go into drop just yet. He's doing an okay job of holding it off, but it's not going to be forever. And they still have to have the capability to actually win out these gunfights, too. That became a problem for them towards the end of the first quarter of the match. And now they're looking to recover, which we haven't seen a whole lot of yet, except for that pistol victory. It's been all CLG here. And they're just 3 rounds away from that one victory. In they go. Ricky just going through his own molly to start things off here. And now smoking on the outside to try and get him a bit more room to maneuver. The spam spray back at it. It's a good thing Ricky didn't move just yet. Ethan, in the meantime, getting the first kill for his team as he pushes into the site here. Not all the way out just yet, and Junji's still sitting back and waiting too. Both the CTs that remain in this bomb site are stuck way in the back, so in terms of a platform push, CLG is clean to move back out. The only player that had to worry about is Moose, and he's crouched down, worried more about his own safety and someone pushing him from drop than he is about actually stopping any platform play. Smokes at Rock 2. Now they're going to start to push back out. Hayes and Ricky both get the first kills. VSA will get 1 trade, but Hayes takes him down just moments later, and FNS gets that last kill. Once the fighting starts, it's a quick cleanup for CLG, and they are now just 2 rounds away from lap number 1 being theirs.
Yeah, good patience by CLG, just waiting out the nades and then splitting the drop in the B, letting Rise thin. Another half buy by Rise.
Yeah, like I said, they're just going through the motions at this point, as they can't do anything else about it. CZ's, the 5-7 again, and the Deagle for Ace. And CLG going to change the game plan just a little bit this time. Ricky is sitting up over here on Broken, or at the Broken Wall approach, waiting to see if anyone's actually going to push Broken and try to challenge him or counter boost too. But the other 4 from CLG, they're all focused on pushing out over here towards that A site, where Rise does have a two-man setup, and it's close up at the exit to the long A2. So that smoke, I'm able to spot something. And actually, Junji, through that smoke, was somehow able to spot Ethan. I'm not sure if they have it set up to be a one-way or whatnot, but they spot Ethan out there, take him down, and just like that, Rise actually have a 5v4 advantage to play off of. So that may scare CLG off and cause them to change their hit up slightly, but it still seems like they're sticking with it. Junji's ready to
like Rise needs to get info at B. Take that risk, you know, because they're on pistol armor. So.
Moose is right below broken, but he just hasn't had the balls to go up there and check it yet. So he's still sitting down below, waiting for some hit to come back out. But now the problem is the whole team's going to explode outside. They will rotate, but problem is that only with that one trade they got earlier against Ethan, it's not really enough to justify what's currently happened. But after they get those kills, they're going to move back, and Moose, he's caught trying to pull out the CZ. He's going to be taken down by Ricky. They're going to whip themselves over to the B bomb site. Rise doesn't know what's happening, but with the loss of Dazzle, Ace is a choice to make. He's sticking in this site. It's a good choice to make, but he still has to go up against the 1v4, tagging one player. That's Ricky being brought down to 60 HP, trying to finish it off, going through two there. He almost got a double with one shot, but CLG does maintain, and they only lose Ethan, so another clean round for them too. Good for their money. This does take us into Rise. Rise having one more buy round, but it's on CLG's map point.
Yeah, I'd like to see Rise maybe like get a boost drop, do something aggressive, try to get that early pick and get the advantage in their hands.
Well, it's going to be pretty quick setups from CLG towards Broken Wall platform again. Moose also taking a position just below it. Don't believe he's going to push due to the smokes, but he will sit down in that corner. It's become a predictable pattern, though, so they are going to expect him to be here more than likely, as he's been here for the last, like, 2 or 3 rounds. And there you go. They do try to nade him. It's a little bit off the mark. Ethan, though, gets a walk-on kill. And Ace is the one walking on. Ethan knocks him out, gets the early advantage for CLG. The other 4 from Rise, well, they do have a flank attempt coming back in from Dazzle here. However, they have a player, in fact, now 2 players that are going to be watching out for these flanks. As they push in FNS, he gets countered by Dazzle. The other player doesn't have his gun out time, so he gets the double there. Ethan will be trading on the 3rd attempt to take down Dazzle, but that trade evens it back down into a 3v3. Now it's all about Rise getting the appropriate read as to where CLG are taking this, and they're quickly sprinting over towards this A-bomb site to get the plant here. Jonji knows it's happening. He can't go out through the doors. It's too big of a risk again with the smoke in play, so has to go up towards Heaven instead and try to give info to VSA. At the very least, though, the noise from Jonji along with the regular push is enough to push the other players back, and for VSA, he's already been able to spot them from over inside of the site, and that's opened up a hole for Jonji to try and jump down from Heaven. He's got a better position from actually within the site here now. Ethan is going to try to lurk a little bit over here towards the rat hole, but nothing being found. Ricky finding Jonji, but VSA again being a huge menace to the CLG roster. Sneaks out another kill now, leaves it all on Ethan, but VSA, he looks away at the last second there, so it gives Ethan finally probably very satisfying kill against VSA. Leaving just Moose in this fight. Moose has so much utility. He has the molly to force Ethan into the open, but it only forces Ethan into a position to take down Moose and win out map number 1 for CLG. And well, guys, with that map 1, we are once again going to head over to a short break. It'll be much quicker than the last one. I can absolutely promise you that. But as soon as we are back, map number 2 on train again is going to be getting started here, guys. Once again, CLG versus Rise. If CLG takes it, then they will move on into the grand finals versus Cloud9. But if Rise takes it, well, we're heading to Inferno for a 3rd and final map. Stick with us, guys. We'll be back with the second map in just a bit.